G'day guys, welcome back to Dune Awakening. Hope you guys are doing well. In the previous episode we made a start on reconstructing and expanding the base, starting with the garage building, which I would say went relatively well, and I'm very happy with what we've got going. But I have already made a bit of a start on the manufacturing tower as well. So I've pre-recorded the initial building process for that, but unfortunately we are still not done. And even though I had spent maybe for the good part of maybe 2 hours or so, I feel like it's not quite there yet, and I decided to sort of stop there because otherwise, if I had recorded even more, then the entire episode may actually be just building. So I would say we're about maybe halfway, maybe 3/4 of the way complete with the manufacturing building, and I'm pretty happy with where it's going. The only unfortunate thing about it though is I think I'm gonna have to forego the symmetry that we had previously. So we're going to have to sort of design things in a more peculiar sort of lopsided way. But anyway, you guys will actually be able to get to see all of that and the trials and tribulations that went through with the build. And yeah, as I said, it's 2 hours long, but I will speed things up, so you guys won't be here forever, obviously, watching me build this place. So yeah, we'll come back when that's all done. Righto guys, hopefully you enjoyed that building segment. So yeah, still a little bit more to do, and I made a point of just placing down the blueprints of some of the fabricators that we wanted to place down in that structure. Unfortunately, I've ran out of silicon blocks again, and that's the only thing blocking me from building the large ore refinery at the moment. So I'll come back to that because I'm not super desperate for it. But yeah, I kind of want to shift gears in this episode. I think maybe this is the last like 20 or 30 minutes of it. Just doing other stuff, right? Nothing to do with building. I do want to go back to Hako Village, I think, just to have a chat with Alara about these 2 new targets that we're apparently supposed to eliminate. And while we're there, I might actually check in with the Swordmaster as well, just to see if the Swordmaster has anything new for us. Otherwise, we could shift gears to another quest line which I've had in the list, but haven't completed just yet. Okay, back in Hanavars. Let's just go to the Cone of Silence and have that chat. We'll see who our next targets are.
Oh look, the kitten is back.
Let's discuss the Assassin's Handbook.
Oh, very good, kitten. Fenring is pleased that you are becoming so comfortable with the Assassin's Handbook. I have another task for you.
Who were those people you sent me to kill? They said some strange things.
You spoke to them? That's not how assassination is supposed to work, kitten.
Well, tell me about this new task then.
It seems that the water shippers have some new blood. One of their members rose from relative obscurity to become their wealthiest member. His methods have been efficient and brutal. Normally something to be admired, kitten, but the water shippers cannot afford to be unstable right now. So, another vial of poison, to be distributed in the water supply of this water shipper. The act of poisoning through drink is Chalmerky. What do you say, kitten? Shall we drink a toast to his demise?
Alright, I'll take it.
Not so fast, kitten. This time you'll be needing some help. This water shipper keeps his mansion well guarded, almost impenetrable.
More impenetrable than a slaver base or a paranoid cult?
Your point is taken, but rather naive. This water shipper is wealthy. There's no easy approach to his mansion. Too well guarded. Which means stealth is the only way in. Luckily, I once again have a man on the inside. It'll be terribly exciting for all of us. But never fear, kitten. I'll be here to guide you.
Alright, well, I can handle it.
Then go, kitten. Show them your claws.
Okay, well, let's just talk about stealth. I feel like this game hasn't exactly been known for its stealth elements, so it'd be interesting if there is actually a way to be a bit more stealthy, but I doubt that this game has much of a stealth mechanic. I am going to just see if I can speak to the Swordmaster very quickly, but perhaps maybe there's not really anything else that we can do for him just yet.
What have you learned?
Master Valen, how do you fare?
I did a funny thing today.
What did you do?
Some children and street urchins got into a tussle. I gave them a few tips, demonstrated some lessons. They thanked me and sauntered off with new pride. Despite myself, my face screwed up into a smile. The muscles of my face are still sore from the effort.
You truly miss being a teacher.
I suppose I do. Once our training is concluded, I will miss it.
Is that not a better purpose than revenge? There's a future in it.
It was a pleasant diversion, I grant you, but it's only a ghost of happier times. The past is dead. I have no future. There is only the now, my purpose, and the place in Fenring's heart where my blade shall nest.
Okay. Hang on a sec. Let me just double check on his questline, because it just says additional contracts will be made available. I can't remember if there's perhaps maybe another questline that we need to complete before we are able to continue, or perhaps maybe it's just the main questline that we need to complete first, because it does involve Count Fenring. That's okay. Heading back home, and I'm gonna see if we can try and sink our teeth into one more quest before we end this episode. Righto, guys. So, the last thing I want to do in this episode is to follow along the missing colonel, or the absent colonel questline, which is a quest that we picked up from Helios Gate quite a while ago, and it involves trying to look for this missing colonel. The clues have led us to Haga Basin, right? So, sorry, not Haga Basin, to the Haga Rift, rather. So, we are going to pick up on that trail, and we'll see if we can try and look for this colonel, and see if we can locate him, or what remains of him at the very least. And apparently should just be down here. Let's see. Looks like a accident happened here. What the hell? Oh, there's a helmet here. Hang on. This is the right spot. Nothing's updated just yet. Unless I may need to use the scanner to try and complete this. Oh, hang on. No, there's a book here. My bad. I didn't even see that. I just focused on the helmet. Journal entry. This was my first mistake, to take an assembly position so close to a choke point. I did have a screening force that should have kept the Harkonnens from observing, but they probably just guessed where we were. Their artillery hit us just as we were preparing to move out. They inflicted casualties with no way for us to fight back. And they have the nerve of calling this observing the rights of Canley. Alright, apparently there's a bit more of a trail, so let's continue to follow it. Probably lead us further into the Haga Rift. Okay, so it should be in this area somewhere. Might actually be below us, so... Yeah, I always find that the Haga Rift is quite a confusing area to try and navigate. Oh, hang on, I do see a banner right here. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. Let's just get rid of any enemies in the area, just in case. Alright. What are we looking at here? Another entry? This was my second mistake. I had expected short-range combat in the rift. The Harkonnens were sitting dug in the mining galleries, and we would have to clear them out room to room, so I ordered submachine guns and swords for the infantry. Should have read the map. The Harkonnens were waiting for us on the approach, and their longer-ranged assault rifles took a terrible toll. By the time I had managed to get the tanks up front, the Ornithopters had already managed to get into the rift and dig the Harkonnens out from close range. Should have ordered a sweep ahead of time, but felt that surprise was of the essence. Alright. Oh god, alright, I didn't even realize there was another one. Gave me a bit of a scare. Alright. Next trail. Bit further into the rift, I guess. Wait a sec, let's just check into the map here. So I suppose I need to go on foot. Possibly. Into the cave systems. I mean, I don't mind, so let's just store the Ornithopter and let's continue. Yeah, the only problem with going on foot here, though, is you never know which cave is leading where, so there's no guarantee that we'll actually get to the objective from here. Assuming these lights are actually leading to where we need to go, hopefully we're actually going into the right direction. No, it's right here, actually. Ah, there it is. Another entry. This was my third mistake. An obstacle not covered by fire is useless. And of course, the Harkonnens knew this as well. So they had their ambush well prepared, hitting us from all sides while my engineers labored to clear the barricades. I lost them all. I failed my mission and my people. This is as far as we got. This is as far as I go. Alright. And, just like that, we need to contact the issuer. Let me do that very quickly, because sometimes that results in a continuation of the quest line. Yeah, Into Darkness. Search the mineral extraction facility for Colonel Voldero, and then contact the issuer. Yeah, it's not very far, I don't think. Off in that general direction. Okay, that is actually quite far. I might break out the Ornithopter so we can get there pretty quickly. I don't suppose they would hold him captive. I feel like he's probably already dead, but also, I don't know if I should have just continued along the pathway in this cave to see if there's anything interesting at the end of it, but that's alright. I'm sort of more interested in completing this mission, clearing it out of the list. Okay, we are very close. I think it might be that base over there. Just check the map. Yeah, I think so. Alright. Well, let's park here and let's get to work. I could use a little bit more earthright, but I don't know. Maybe I can sort of gather up some more earthright in my own time.
Someone here. Found. Where's backup?
All right, what are we looking for? Something above us, perhaps?
Shields up.
There's someone here. They're here.
Fire. Your water is back.
Enemy found.
All right, good times. Let's do a little bit of looting. And let's see. Back this way somewhere. I guess it might be up that way. Look, I may as well grab some of this. Yeah, I swear, they definitely need to rework the snipers. The snipers need to get into these fights a bit more. Whoa. Alright, let me heal up a little bit. Okay, another entry. Oh, hang on, I am poisoned. Okay, that should fix that up. Oh no! Okay. I exited out of that entry. I did want to read it, actually. Oh well, that's okay. Let me contact the issuer. You guys can always pause that specific frame, or a few frames, to try and read it. Which I might do in my own time as well. Alright, let's contact the issuer. That's it then, we have him cornered. It's a damn shame, really. I never would have thought a man of Voldero's caliber would break like that. At any rate, he's now a threat to our security. I've just received a termination order from High Command. Enter the testing station, find Voldero, and finish the job. Be careful though, he knows you're coming. Alright, so maybe he got captured and they managed to turn him? That's my guess. Alright, a soldier's end. Pursue Colonel Voldero into the mineral extraction facility. Contact the issuer. So it should be nearby, 900 meters in this direction. Oh, okay. No, that's actually a little bit further away. Let me just grab a little bit more earthright and then we'll get going. Yeah, I can definitely get there by ornithopter, I reckon. Okay, let me just take a look at our inventory. We don't really have a lot of space to work with, so probably can't really pick up any more crystals for the time being. I'd probably store more in the ornithopter storage though, if I really, really wanted to. Is a little bit quiet in here. Maybe there's an ambush waiting for us. One second. Northeast bunker. Okay, I wonder if this leads us to that location. If it does, then perhaps maybe we can get like 2 birds with 1 stone here. Try and get the intel as well. But it does say that we're going to a testing station though, so maybe we won't really be able to get to that bunker. I can't really remember if we've been to this specific testing station before. We might have. Seems familiar. Haven't seen any enemies though. What's going on with all of this poison gas though? Oh. I can actually reap these. Seems a bit strange to be able to do that. Okay, onwards. Are these bodies lootable? I guess they are. Probably not worthwhile though.
Someone's here. Who's there? They're coming!
Okay, we've got a couple of branching pathways here. Not entirely sure which one we should hit first. Maybe this one. Oh, man. Big whiffs. Any more? Okay. Just want to find any loot that might be around. Also, just trying to keep an eye out on potentially openable sort of hidden doors. They don't seem to be very common though. Okay, probably gonna have to defeat a wave of some sort in here. Okay, I think this is our target, right?
They're here! They're here!
Oh, okay. Died from the poison. That works. Okay. Good times. Just need to contact the issuer. I will just do a little bit of looting before we even do that. Mark 3. Probably just leave that. Can we open this? No.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Were we here before? Oh, I think this loops back around, doesn't it? Yeah. So we should be able to exit through here. Alright, done and dusted. But I'll just quickly contact the issuer now. And just make sure that we don't have a continuation of this quest. I think that's it. Fantastic. Atreides Deserter pants customization. Well, not just pants, boots and everything else as well. So that's cool. At least we've got another sort of swatch to use when we want to sort of get creative with things. Heading back home, guys. I'll meet you guys when we get there. Alright guys, we are back, and I reckon we're going to be ending the episode here, where we are obviously still doing a bit of a work in progress here with the manufacturing building, but, you know, it is coming along, and it's coming along relatively well. But I suspect, that we'll probably complete all of the building for the manufacturing building in the next episode. Hopefully it won't take too long. You know, I've sort of got a bit of an idea, and there's just a little bit of sort of cleaning up, a little bit of finessing here and there that needs to be done. But hopefully it won't take as long as what we did in this episode. And I might do a little bit of prep as well, just to get some more silicon blocks, just so that we can, you know, immediately place down the large ore refinery. That way we can get all of our production going a little bit faster. Thanks for watching, guys. As usual, drop me a like down below if you're enjoying things. Don't forget to subscribe, stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one.